There's a man who made $200 million by the age of 30. Private jets, mansions, every luxury you can imagine. And yet, in interviews, he said he was more anxious and more lonely than he was when he had nothing. Meanwhile, there are people living in small homes, working ordinary jobs, who say they feel genuinely content with their lives. So what's going on here? Is money really the answer to happiness, or have we been chasing the wrong thing this whole time? Let's find out. Almost everyone, at some point, has thought, if I just had more money, I'd finally be happy. It's not a shallow thought, it's human. Money buys security, it buys options, it removes certain kinds of stress, so it's natural to assume more of it means more happiness. But here's the uncomfortable question we're going to explore today. Does that assumption actually hold up? Or is there a point where money stops making a real difference and something else takes over? For years, psychologists have studied this exact question, and the findings are more nuanced than a simple yes or no. Early research suggested that happiness rises with income, but only to a certain point. Beyond that point, extra income kept improving people's day-to-day mood only slightly, while their overall life satisfaction kept climbing a bit more. Later research complicated this picture. Some studies found that for most people, happiness continues to rise with income even beyond that earlier threshold, but the rate of increase slows down. However, there was one important exception. A smaller group of people who were already unhappy didn't see their happiness improve much with more money, no matter how much they earned. So what does this tell us? Money does help. It's not something to dismiss, but it doesn't behave the way we assume. It's not a straight line where double the income means double the joy. Let's talk about why this happens, because this is where it gets interesting. First, there's something psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. When your income increases, your lifestyle tends to expand with it. A bigger salary often leads to a bigger apartment, a nicer car, more expensive habits. Within months, what once felt like luxury becomes your new normal, and you're chasing the next upgrade. The finish line keeps moving. Second, money is very good at solving money problems, but it's not designed to solve emotional problems. If someone is anxious, lonely, or dealing with unresolved grief, a bigger bank account doesn't fix that. It might distract from it for a while, but the core issue stays exactly where it was. Third, comparison. Humans are wired to measure their situation against others. Someone earning a comfortable salary can feel poor simply because their neighbor earns more. Happiness, in this sense, isn't really about how much you have. It's about how much you have relative to the people around you. And that comparison game never truly ends, no matter your income bracket. So, does this mean money doesn't matter at all? Not even close. Money absolutely matters, especially when someone doesn't have enough of it. Financial stress is one of the most consistent predictors of poor mental health. Not being able to pay rent, afford medical care, or provide for your family creates real, measurable suffering. In that stage, more money brings real relief. It reduces fear, it reduces daily stress, it gives people room to breathe. But here's the key insight. Once someone reaches a level where their basic needs, safety, and reasonable comfort are covered, additional money starts producing smaller and smaller emotional returns. The difference between struggling to pay bills and having stability is enormous. The difference between being comfortable and being extremely wealthy is emotionally much smaller than people expect. This is why we see wealthy individuals battling depression and modest income individuals living genuinely joyful lives. Past a certain point, money isn't the variable doing the heavy lifting anymore. If money isn't the full answer, what is? Research consistently points to a few things. Strong relationships. People with close friends, supportive family, and real connection report far higher life satisfaction than isolated people, regardless of income. A sense of purpose. Feeling like your life and work mean something matters more long-term than the number in your bank account. Health. Physical and mental. No amount of money fully compensates for chronic stress, poor sleep, or untreated mental health struggles. Gratitude and perspective. People who regularly notice and appreciate what they already have tend to report higher happiness than people constantly focus on what they lack, even when their financial situations are similar. Experiences over possessions. Spending on experiences, time with people, travel, learning, tends to create longer-lasting happiness than spending on material things, which fade in emotional value quickly.